Next, I'd like to call upon stage Mr. Praveen Gandhi, Thai board member, to come up on stage and do the honors of presenting the speakers of the next session. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Mr. Praveen Gandhi. Afternoon, sir. Pleasure having you here. Please.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Well, it's a great session to have after lunch. It'll all keep you awake. It is my great pleasure to introduce Anand Lunia and Vijay. Anand I have known for last probably 17 years. I invested in his first company and probably been instrumental in his career as a venture capitalist. So currently, Anand is a founding partner of India Quotient, an early stage fund focusing on pre-revenue startups. Anand was previously working as executive director in Seed Fund. Anand leads investments in tech, internet, education, and retail ventures. As an active angel investor, Anand has invested in successful startups like InFruit, a crowdsourcing apparel company, and Fasos, a fast food chain. And I can add that as a colleague on my fund with me, we also invested in a hugely successful company called Redbus. Welcome, Anand.
Thank you, Pramod. Thank you.
And now it is even a greater privilege to introduce Vijay Shekhar Sharma. I don't think anybody needs any introduction to Vijay. 2 years ago, when I was on a panel with him in Ireland, he had the audacity to call me Dada Falke of VC industry. I am still trying to figure out whether there was an insult or a compliment. Someday he'll tell me. But as you know, Vijay is a founder CEO of 197 Paytm, an engineering graduate from Delhi University. Vijay has successfully built businesses in content, marketing, payment, and online commerce in India. With over 200 million users, Paytm is India's largest mobile payment and commerce platform. Paytm is looking forward to launch its payments bank very shortly. Vijay.
Wow.
Vijay, thank you for making it to this place.
In the company of people who make you feel that you must be not able to have a equal energy. So extraordinary energy outside, inside, I'm sure. So first of all, cheers to everybody who's gathered in this room. On my behalf,
Thanks, Vijay.
Thai Bombay. Yeah, is it better? Volume.
Yeah, volume is not in my hand. I just have a speaker.
Joke finished? So I'm a speaker, not the volume controller.
So, Vijay, we had the Deeparadhana, right?
Yes.
So pick one god. As an entrepreneur, Brahma, Vishnu, or Mahesh, what would you pick?
Oh,
the creator, preserver.
ब्रह्मास्मि, ब्रह्मा. But
creator.
लेकिन माइकल ने कहा था कि मैं महेश हूँ, यानी कि I am a destructor of what is not needed. That is how I create great outcomes. So truth of matter is that an entrepreneur is a mixed breed of Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. They have to kill the business that doesn't work. They have to manage what starts to work, and they have to build. But ultimately, entrepreneurs are Brahma avatar. So Steve Jobs, Vishnu avatar the.
Yeah. So, Vijay, how today entrepreneurs are struggling to find a mojo, right? Koi bolta hai you should have a core competence. Koi bolta hai somebody will say what you should have, this kind of a profile. You should stick to this. Don't stick to it. All this conventional wisdom, is it relevant today?
No, wisdom is always relevant, but you have to always remember which wisdom is relevant at what time. People most of the time have a great idea, and I think all of us have this great understanding of the world matter. But the timing is what just kills everybody or makes anybody. I mean, I don't think that at Paytm we can even say that we are the awesome idea. No, it is. We are 33rd idea, by the way. We were 33rd licensee from RBI. So we should not be even given the credit of first, second, third at all. I mean, we are the 33rd. And secondly, the point is, it's just the timing of everything else mixed into outcome. So entrepreneurs, outcomes are like chemistry calculation. H2 plus O2 in a correct environment H2O, otherwise H2O2. जिन लोगों को समझ में आया वो पानी है, दूसरा हाइड्रोजन peroxide है. So the same fucking thing can make a great thing, or which can save life, or H2O2 which can take life. So I think it is a correct timing and situation that makes sense.
Then some people would call you opportunist, right?
You're supposed to be heck of an opportunist, actually.
Heck of an opportunist.
Yeah. अखबार में print पे अखबार में छाप दो.
But you know, there are some other conventional wisdoms, right? Like, you know, you should have multiple CEOs, multiple founders in the company who will all become CEOs turn by turn.
नहीं, वो तो बिल्कुल नहीं होना चाहिए. मेरा ये मानना है कि imagine a company like a warhead or a missile. So the person whose neck or whose nose or whose pointer should be in front should be very clearly identified. Because when you have a problem of peer entrepreneurs, then one doesn't take owners of other. This most of the time, I'm sure you have a data on your side. When a peer group forms a company in static gang, when they are not able to clearly articulate who's the leader, who's not follower, then there's a problem, because one doesn't say, oh, I don't buy into whatever you're saying because I think we should do this. We had a company, V stands for me and my friend, and we had to sell this just because we were not buying into each other's point of view.
Right.
And when it is one person, I think all four of us, when we started, were individually incredible entrepreneurs, but together, because we were peer, we were not able to do so.
Yeah, I've been through that.
Yeah.
So Vijay, you know, but then there are other conventional wisdoms, like, you know, like you should be a B2B company or you should be a B2C company.
Okay, B2B
company. आपका जो Paytm है, वो मतलब मैं कोई पूछ रहा था, बोलता है it's like an A to Z company.
A to Z, वो तो Amazon है यार.
So A to Z, you know.
A to Z तो Amazon है.
Amazon है, A to Z, yeah.
तो हम तो zero से infinity बनेंगे, कुछ ऐसा.
Zero to infinity
हाँ,
company.
कुछ ऐसा करना चाहिए, so that it is different.
So all this doesn't matter, right? B2B model, B2C
no,
model.
it does matter. It does matter. I want to tell you what matters. B2C companies require extraordinary investment in early days, and they require extraordinary risk and reward game capability in the team that is fighting, because B2C companies are like an infrastructure investment. Early, for first 5 years, you will be lucky to make money in B2C companies in first 3 to 5 years, because you are changing consumer behavior from something to some other thing. Even if you are Google, even if you are Facebook, even if you are Paytm, you're trying to make people become used to of the paradigm you belong to. And that takes a lot of cost, attention, time, resources, everything, which is the cost. While B2B companies obligately, I mean, I fundamentally believe B2B companies, even if they are SaaS companies or even services companies, they can make money much faster. So the biggest difference of B2C company is high risk, high reward, and not that there is a less risk, but the rewards are not so clearly in a winner-take-all sense in the B2B companies.
But you know, Vijay, I mean, when you were a B2B company at some point in time.
I'm still a B2B company. So 197 Communication, which is the parent company, is actually the technology company, like a cloud company which gives software for analytics and marketing to telcos, and it is also a content cloud. So it's a B2B company. And I always had this vision and the point of view. Now this is not the vision, this is the view problem, not a vision problem, that I wanted to build something which is a consumer brand.
Okay.
And this is nothing but a sheer lust of building something that people love.
Right.
I mean, that is what I think I was driving.
And you're saying that that's a part of the
that's a part of being
opportunistic. You got
no, I wanted to build it so much that one of the entrepreneurs, when I built Paytm in early 3 years, I remember he met and he said, why did you have to do the same company? You could have done in the other company. I said, I was not doing it for the gain into a maximization sense. I was doing it because my company was generating cash, and that cash I could have put. For the record, in this room, I want to tell you, as a B2B company, so-called 197, we only raised $18 million of total capital. And before starting Paytm, we had 30 million cash in bank. So we were generating free cash, and cash was growing. And that is the reason we created a fund to invest in companies also. And that is the time when we got to meet each other and so on. So that is the age of free cash generation. And then we started Paytm, which could suck all this money and a lot more. And the reason, that funny reason on a board meeting was, oh, Vijay, you're generating a lot of profit. This is something bad because you're not able to put it back. We can't give dividends. So you have to find use of this money. Seriously. And so I said, I get it. So what do you think we should do? I think we should start investing in some companies. One of the guys, oh yeah, we should start investing. We started investing. So companies, we started investing in Bangalore, Singapore, Scotland, literally everywhere. And then, surprise, surprise, we spent $5 million of investments and we made $7 million by the next 7 months. Exit cash in. So then another problem started becoming that, no, your investments are also generating cash, so we need to find something that eats cash that we are generating. So I said, let me think about it. Then I went to this world recce. You know, दुनिया जैसे कहते हैं ना देशाटन के लिए जाइए, ऐसे मैं दुनिया भ्रमण के लिए गया और मेरी भ्रमण मैं surprisingly Beijing पहुंच गया in that sequence of things. And there I was in this startling world where every number was like 100 times bigger than this country's number. कितने मिलियन यूजर हैं? यहाँ पे 2 मिलियन यूजर थे तो वहाँ 200 मिलियन यूजर हैं. कितना GMV होता है? यहाँ पे 20 मिलियन होता है तो वहाँ 2 बिलियन होता है. हर कुछ में 100 का multiple. So then I saw that I think what is happening in this country, this is not US, this is China. If this country can do all this kind of stuff, some things of these can be attributable to country like ours. And that is when I came back and I said, I think we will need to build a payment platform and then a top of it with a commerce platform, and that combination will work. But the catch will be that it will be all done on the mobile. Now my board says, Vijay, you have a problem. You first were generating cash, that was a problem, really seriously by the way. And then now you're telling this countrymen will pay using app, smartphones. Where are the smartphones? I'm talking 2011-12. So the smartphone count in this country was about 25-35 million. So किसी अगर Google वाले से बात कर लो तो 35 बोलेगा और अगर किसी अखबार वाले से कर लो तो 25 बोलेगा. I mean, messy analysts will say 25. So this was a problem for us, that do we trust phones will work or not? And then finally, cash is king in this country. And there is only one king in this country. Cash is a king in this country. So then you're not going to change the behavior. So it became a challenge on us that can we build Paytm or not? And I think there was a very interesting veto call. Maybe a lot of you do not know. I was given 5 crore rupees for 6 months to take a chance whether Paytm will be built or not.
Oh, okay.
And I was lucky in that 6 months that it just picked up.
Okay. But Vijay, one, of course, I want to know, how did you actually convince the board? Because, a lot of us are here entrepreneurs, and many of us actually have companies which generate cash, right? But it's very rare to see the board supporting something which is so unrelated, no past DNA, no experience.
Yeah. I was told that,
company.
Vijay, you're a good techie, but you can't build a brand. अब देखो brand बनाया. You are a good techie, but you can't build a consumer service. देखो consumer service बनाई. Then the problem that I think I had on the board was I did not realize they do not want to do it because they were being nice to me, that nice fellow, this is the uncharted territory, you may not know how to do it. Or were they having greed of that I would spend 5 crore rupees? Or a fear of, if you not greed. So I offered something very shocking on the table. I said 1% of my equity is worth more than 5 crore. If this 5 crore goes off like a cost, you can pro-rata divide 1% of equity into all of you.
You actually did that?
I was given no, and I said, before this call finishes, may I suggest another thing? 1% of my equity is available. If it doesn't go well, give me 5 crore to spend. I will give you this 1% equity into you. So then I got a call from one of my investors that you're seemingly very serious. Are you sure that you don't want to do it? So that's how I think it is. So as entrepreneurs in the room who are being governed, controlled and guided and whatever else done by boards. Bullied नहीं बोला मैंने. बॉस आप जब तक बिल्कुल अपना सब कुछ बाहर नहीं रख दोगे ना तब तक उन्हें समझ में नहीं आएगा. ये बहुत सीरियस है. बिल्कुल घर में जैसे ये बच्चा रुकेगा नहीं.
मतलब लेकिन फिर भी there must have been some struggle within the organization. Did you hire people from outside or? Oh,
this is another problem. This is called innovator dilemma. The problem is that this company, what you're building is a great company, generates free cash, and there is a new thing which will become probably bigger or challenging this. And that's the problem in the company also. So my answer to innovator dilemma, which is probably the answer I finally found out after studying other things, whether my answer is the way people have said or not, is that the boss of the company should take the onus of the new. The best leader in the company should continue to run and drive the past. So जिससे कि अगर उसमें अच्छा पैसा बन रहा है तो वो कम से कम अपनी कंपनी के बाकी हीरो लोगों को हीरो सर्टिफिकेट मिलता रहे. देखो हम पैसा कमाते हैं, ये पैसा घुमाते हैं, या फिर देखो हम कम से कम पैसा तो कमा रहे हैं, या फिर the point is that the CEO of the company, the boss of the company, has a equity on the table in the boardroom and has a nuance and know-how that this should be maneuver and these should be the KPIs of success, which a new teammate might not be able to articulate and push forward with that aggression and the necessary attention. So I think the boss should take the new role and the senior tech lead should be. So my company has every year been run by a teammate who was working with me. That is how we are able to do so many things, by the way. That company, which B2B company that I'm talking about, is 350 crore this year, 125 crore of profit. I mean, that is the line item of business in our company, incidentally, and that happens to be there. Okay. And this is run by the team which was running on those days like I was running.
That team continues?
That team continues, okay. And they are like very nicely rewarded for that.
Absolutely. So Vijay, but it sounds like a story of opportunities, and you
India
put yourself...
is a land of opportunities.
Absolutely.
So now we call India Dream actually. Surprisingly, it used to be called American Dream.
I have a question around that India or Bharat, but I'll come back to that later. So
Bharat का सपना ही रह जाएगा.
Yeah, नहीं यार, the problem is like this. We call this India stack, right? And I was wondering why is it not called Bharat stack? But I'll come back to that later.
भारत क्यों आ रहा है? चलो ठीक है बाद में.
So you seem to be like, is there something which is sort of specific to you that said, I want to make this in this directionally? Because when you started, you probably just pitched to your board saying that, I'll do a payment app, right?
Yeah.
Was the whole vision laid out at that point in time, or was it incremental?
I can pretend that it was all laid out, but there'll be a joke of the century. कुछ भी ऐसा नहीं होता. Once you go, how do you know how Switzerland is beautiful? पहले आप अपने घर से दिल्ली के एयरपोर्ट, बॉम्बे के एयरपोर्ट पे जाते हो तो कहते हो एयरपोर्ट इज ब्यूटीफुल, आई लाइक इट. फिर आप फ्लाइट में बैठते हो, दीज आर नाइस फ्लाइट्स. देन यू लैंड इन ज्यूरिक, वाओ व्हाट अ सिटी. देन यू लैंड ऑन टिटलिस, वाओ. सो होता क्या है कि विजन ना जहाँ तक आप जाते हो वहीं से दिखता है. सो नाउ आई कैन से 500 million Indian on the mainstream of economy. 2 years back, सर्वाइवल. भैया पैसे दे दो, काम करना है, अगले महीने की नौकरी है. So I mean, these vision talk that happen are a post facto, not a prefacto.
And does it mean that
पैसे आनंद, अगर कोई आपके पास आके बोले मैं 500 million भारतीयों को मेन स्ट्रीम इकोनॉमी पे लाऊंगा, इंकलाब जिंदाबाद, पैसे दे दोगे? मतलब तुम दे दोगे? नहीं दोगे यार. बंदा बातें तो अच्छी करता है, पता नहीं जाने कहाँ जाके गिरेगा.
I am supposed to be putting you on the spot, so
no, you are also in the spot for this question. अच्छा सर, I will make a messenger. दे दोगे पैसे?
बहुत मुश्किल है.
बहुत मुश्किल है. मैं सर पेमेंट कंपनी बनाऊंगा इस देश में 2011 में.
No, you are right. We invested in a company which was doing non-English content, right? It has stupid jokes which are like there's nothing in English.
Stupid jokes.
Yeah. So
इसमें oxymoron नहीं है, ये adjective है joke क्या है.
And which is a word I heard. It's like this is silly content, right? And that app I used to be sneered at. क्या invest करते हो? What do you invest at? But by the way, that's the most popular app in the social. The top 10 social apps in the country right now.
Wow.
And you know the company we talked about it in the past.
So I have a serious question. People say that India needs not. So venture capital gets 2 words. One is nice word called adventure capital. Another is a bad word called vulture capital.
Yeah.
आप बताएं देश का venture capital किस needle में है?
You know what? I'll go back to the rockstar thing if you keep asking questions to me.
बताओ तो सही. आप कैसे हो? आप adventure capital हो या vulture capital हो?
Vulture is okay?
Vulture is
acceptable?
Okay? Yes, कहो यार capitalist दुनिया है. अगर हम नहीं खाएंगे तो कोई हमें खा जाएगा. ऐसे बोल दो. It's a food cycle, baby. If I don't eat
capitalism, right? It's capitalism. We talked about it, right? I mean, yeah. Why are people cribbing about big money eating away small money?
Obviously. अब यार 1 billion वाला रो रहा है आज, तो अब सोचो कौन नहीं रो रहा है?
मतलब अमेरिका का पैसा है, चाइना का पैसा है, इंडिया का पैसा doesn't matter, right? It's capitalism.
अच्छा.
I agree with you.
तो आप totally capitalism में live करते हो?
Total. I mean, that's why it's vulture capital, right? It has to be the food chain.
So you acknowledge venture capital in India is to be attributed as a vulture.
Why India?
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
I like this.
Yeah, absolutely.
So venture capital fundamentally is vulture capital.
I mean, it's like I have to be heck of an opportunistic guy as a venture capitalist.
Where will be the adventure capital, that dreamy, the India dream, the entrepreneur dream, the Silicon Valley dream? वो adventure capital कहाँ से आएगा? आनंद.
That's jumping to my last question.
No,
let's
बताओ
jump to my last question. My last question.
वो ये नहीं है. मेरा सवाल ये है कि एडवेंचर कैपिटल कैसे मिले? साला हम तो अपनी जिंदगी लगाने को बैठे हुए हैं, साला कोई पैसा तो लगा दे.
क्या हो रहा है ना? अलीबाबा ने
क्या किया नहीं है बताओ?
अलीबाबा and Tencent.
As an individual, this is prime of my life. What I do today will be defining my future. Somebody will remember me in the history books as a joker or a hero. But पैसा तो दे दो यार.
नहीं, that's true. Absolutely. No. Actually, I think. The Alibaba and Tencent.
अच्छा.
40. सर आपके LP.
मुझे नहीं पता यार. मुझे नहीं पता. अभी हिंदी से अंग्रेजी में चले गए तो.
सर आपने पब्लिक में उनको बोल दिया है, they should not mind this.
ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. तुमने अभी जब वल्चर कैपिटल बोल दिया, बाहर जाके एक्नॉलेज कर लेना.
नहीं, they've started funds. I've heard that they've funded hundreds of companies.
They never started fund. उनकी बैलेंस शीट ऐसी रिच है. अलीबाबा रेज
सर तो ये 125 करोड़ का बैलेंस जो आ रहा है.
एक हफ्ते में $25 बिलियन की आईपीओ करने के बाद 9 बिलियन के बॉन्ड इशू कर दिए.
The biggest question, you had been a prolific investor till 2-3 years ago.
Till. क्यों आजकल नहीं है?
इतना ज़्यादा prolific नहीं था. अच्छा ठीक. You're not funding visions now.
I'm
so
funding
when is it starting again? When it is starting again?
नहीं.
Paytm फंड कब आ रहा है फिर से?
पेटीएम फंड कब आ रहा है? ये क्वेश्चन तो पता नहीं कहाँ से लेके कहाँ ले आए तुम. पेटीएम फंड कब आ रहा है? जब इंडिया क्वेश्चन फंड को पैसे चाहिए तो फंड ऑफ फंड बन के पैसे दे देंगे. अब FOF.
So I think should I get into the rockstar question?
Go back. नहीं सारे क्वेश्चन. नहीं. मैं तो समझना चाहता हूँ क्या इस देश में कितने लोगों को लगता है, इस देश ही नहीं, इस देश के सारे दुनिया के लोगों को, एज एंटरप्रेन्योर्स वी डोंट नीड वल्चर कैपिटल, वी नीड एडवेंचर कैपिटल. ये बिल्कुल आई हैव अ ड्रीम टाइप की स्पीच बना दोगे आप.
तो विजय, let's stick to the script, Vijay. So
okay.
I spent so much time with you discussing this, right? So Vijay, simple things, right? I mean, when you go to the board and you say, I want to do this, right? And if you guys know, here is my personal equity that's on the table, but let me do this, right?
Yeah.
Did you discuss it with somebody? Just your own voice? You had mentors?
I think it's a funny thing. By the way, I want to tell you this interesting, cute thing that I started 197 in 2001.
यार मैं पानी पी रहा हूँ थोड़ा सा.
I started 197 in 2001 and 2008 में मैं पहली बार टाई में गया था. 7 साल तक ना कोई रोने वाला ना कोई रोने वाली, ना ऊपर ना नीचे, अपनी तो जैसे तैसे चलती रही. So the answer to the mentor is, जब आप हीरो हो तब सब मेंटर हैं, जब आप नहीं हो तो कोई भी मेंटर नहीं है.
क्या बात है.
हर आदमी आपको अपना माई बाप बना लेगा और आपको अपना बताएगा मैंने ढूंढा, और जब आप नहीं हो कुछ तो कौन ढूंढेगा आपको.
Absolutely. Vijay, it feels great, right? I mean, it's not very easy. You were right, you're addressing an audience of like the big industry leaders of India at India Today Conclave, right?
Yeah.
And I saw your reaction before and after going in, right? And here you were extremely happy and thrilled about it.
Yeah.
Is that what defines Vijay Shekhar?
Oh, I think I'm a Gemini, I can switch fast.
Okay. So, Vijay, coming back to Paytm, right? Paytm changed the consumer behavior, right? The question your board asked was a very valid question. One, people don't have smartphones. Assuming even that people have smartphones, they love cash, right? And for a variety of reasons, not just convenience, right? So, but you managed to change the behavior. Right? What other consumer behaviors, right? You identify, these can be changed.
Okay, so it's a very simple. I'm going to give 3 theories today, and which user behavior can be changed is a smaller, separate answer. But that's true. So whatever you do on smartphone as a customer, everybody soon will start doing that on smartphone. मैंने 2012 में DD क्वाइडी का ऐप देखा था जो टैक्सी हेलिंग ऐप है, और आई वाज लाइक ये क्यों है. And then the Uber existed in San Francisco and this existed in Beijing, and the world knows now what is happening. If you are doing something, now you reply most of your email using phone, right? The world will become that. And I think that's exactly what all of us entrepreneurs or investors need to remain, which is at the edge of it, where if we are doing it, then everybody will do it philosophy. So the change of behavior is very straightforward. If you are doing anything without using smartphone, tomorrow you definitely will do this thing using smartphones. Bas. Everything is converging towards smartphone. And now talking about the theory that I had was that 70s, when our Dr. Falke was the venture capitalist,
Praveen bhai,
उस एज में chip बनते थे, ICs बनते थे, AMD, Intel, and so on, right? That is the age. And then the next age came where the ICs chips could be used, which is the desktop age. So every business that was built was around desktop. चाहे वो laptop बना लो, चाहे computer बना लो, चाहे mainframe बना लो, छोटा बना लो, बड़ा बना लो, desk पे बना लो, कमरे में बना लो, kitchen के लिए बना लो, जो भी था वो desktop, computers, devices. So chips converting into devices. And then there was an age of software. Software was, somebody was making AutoCAD, somebody was making Oracle, somebody was making blah, 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 blah. So that was a software age. And then came the network, internet age. Sun से start हुआ, ऊपर जाके आप डाल दो Snapchat को. So this is all a network age, where things, whether first you build a network, then you use case of networks and so on. And now is the age of cloud, data and AI, which is what is building up. So next 10 years, definitely this will be the primary trend. So what will change is that systems, the ether, the matrix will take a call on our life, whether you'll sit here or not.
Right.
Jokes समझ में आ गया जल्दी.
Vijay, you've been an entrepreneur now for what, 18 years? First company was sold like in a few months.
1998.
1998.
99 I sold my first company.
First company.
Yeah.
And then you started Paytm.
I started 197 in 2001. December 2000 ka registration.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
It's
2007.
been a rather long run, right? Most people typically say, like after 10 years I'll get a CEO.
I'm a lucky guy. I have been I have had contemporaries like Deep Kalra. I have had contemporaries like Oyo wala Ritesh.
Yeah.
So this is
Yeah.
like
That's
a
fantastic.
बिल्कुल Bollywood type
Yeah.
career है.
Yeah.
शाहरुख खान अभी तक age ही नहीं हुए.
Very interesting you mentioned Deep, right?
आलिया भट्ट भी हीरोइन है और वो.
Yeah. So Deep is somebody we know, you know Deep very well, part of Safe portfolio. But he at some point decided to, become the chairman.
Hunger, greed, lust.
And वो आप में बहुत ज़्यादा है.
नहीं, रिवर्स करते हैं उसको. आप यही जवाब सुनना चाह रहे थे, आनंद. I think what is driving, all of us individual have a drive, and that drive is defined by self. हर एक किसी को अपनी ज़िंदगी में कुछ चाहिए होता है. जिस दिन वो मिल जाता है वहाँ पे वो सेटल हो जाते हैं. और वो सेटल जिसको नहीं होना होता है तो मासा सन को मिलो, $100 बिलियन का फंड चला रहे हैं, बिल्कुल सेटल नहीं है, 15 मिनट में दूसरी मीटिंग करनी है, ये करना है, वो करना है, एंड यू लाइक क्या प्रॉब्लम है यार, आपके पास इतना कुछ है. ऐसे ही द सेम वे यू मीट जैक मा इन टीम, देन यू लाइक ओ माय गॉड, 250 बिलियन इज नॉट इनफ, 100 बिलियन ऑन द साइड इज नॉट इनफ, व्हाट इज अप टू. आई डोंट थिंक दैट पीपल आफ्टर सम टाइम स्टार्ट टू डू इट फॉर मनी और समथिंग एल्स. दे स्टार्ट टू डू इट फॉर इम्पैक्ट, व्हिच इज वेरी एविडेंट एंड ऑल ऑफ अस नो दैट. एंड देन इट बिकम्स द इम्पैक्ट एंड गिविंग बैक obligation, and then you sort of have an obligation of your mind that I now know so much, so should I give it back. And people like Rupert Murdoch still, 84.
They're there.
I mean, it's amazing what happens. Except in India, I mean, it is a different kind of country where by that age you definitely retire sort of stuff in this country. But at the same point in time, I think it is a zeal and zest of doing. I met Vinod Khosla. I mean, he's 78 by the way.
Yeah.
And he told that he has a partner who's 93. 93 partner VC. How could it be? Yeah. So that is where I think is the magic. So when you have this thing inside you, जिसको हिंदी में बोलते हैं मतलब कि फिल्म क्या है दोस्त? What is the fire in your belly?
Right. But within that, right? I mean, just last year, right? I mean, there was a big change in Paytm, right? And we saw what demonetization did to Paytm, and it's not easy, right? It's not like just overnight automatically Paytm was used. You had to do a lot of things, right? I mean, there was some mobilization of troops. I'm sure that people were working 24/7.
15,000 people.
24/7?
Yeah.
For how many days?
I mean, I think we had a slide in the board deck which said in 60 days we did work of 600 days.
Okay. So what happened? Like when demonetization was announced, late in the night, right?
I was in Bombay and I was in this Trident for an award night. And I got to know through the WhatsApp. And first of all, I was like, what kind of thing has been done? And then I thought, wow, ये तो boss payment बन गई.
So when did you have first all hands meeting?
कोई all hand meeting नहीं थी. मैं यहीं से हांगकांग जा रहा था तो सब कुछ फोन पे हो रहा था.
फोन पे हो रहा था.
बस सब के सब. पहले एक एडवर्टाइजमेंट निकालो. ऐसा एड नहीं, उसमें फोटो वाला एड निकालो. फिर वो आया.
Next day morning. Okay.
फिर दूसरे दिन गए. That day we had this. So I said every team member will only work on offline payments, and every team member, whether you were in commerce, whether you were in bank, whether you were in anything, will only sign up merchants. We structured quickly. So I think it's an experience of so many years that worked out for us, where we were able to structurally articulate, you go liaison with government elements, you go liaison with these schools, colleges. So vertical बहुत जल्दी बनते गया. And then app development team was able to churn out local language app in 4 days. So 11 languages in 4 days. And then the marketing team was asked to buy ads and so on. So I think I think I'll say that somewhere we were not a young fledgling startup. We were a little bit of experience into this game of opportunity startup.
Right. But Vijay, we were just talking on the way here. You said that's not even a battle that you're fighting, right?
Yeah, that's right.
It's not even a battle. It's a blue
not
ocean.
Even a curtain raiser. This literally is a tip of the iceberg moment for us. We truly believe that as Paytm, we will change the banking in this country for good. We believe that we will change the banking where the deposits are understood to be a liability They should be treated as assets. I mean, I understand the mathematics of balance sheet is something else, but they should be treated as an asset, and the loans that you issue should be called a liability because you have to earn that money back. And we believe that as a bank, we will be able to bring the benefits to the small people who have not been even banked, at a benefit level of wealth management for those people who are like very upstart a bracket of the society. So I think there is an incredible amount of democracy of banking and financial services possible in this country, and all because of technology that will happen. Right. And I swear on God that in 5 years in this country, what we will build will be a world benchmark and nothing less than that.
Wonderful. Phenomenal. Vijay, I was talking about Bharat Stack, right? So within India Quotient, we have a lot of fans of Vijay Shekhar Sharma, right, as you know. We discuss
India Quotient है,
India
भारत
फंड के
Quotient
अंदर
क्यों नहीं?
भारत क्वेश्चन होना चाहिए सर.
भारत ज्ञान होना चाहिए.
वो तो सर जब आदमी पैसा देता है एज अ वीसी तो ज्ञान तो जरूर देगा. You can't. He will come to the board. He will have to give ज्ञान. He's earned the right to give ज्ञान. You've been through that. So Vijay, the question is that is Bharat Stack really working, or Bharat Stack a plan? Because it's not very easy to go and do business in the hinterland of the country, right?
Yeah, so I think Bharat Stack is an incredible tech of technology which is offered available to everyone to build amazing technologies. Aadhaar is an incredible availability, and this has solved problems for so many people. So one line item works great. UPI has been one of the great opportunity, but it has not been accepted by banks, so it is limiting there. But it will be a success too. There is no doubt about it. Once as Paytm Bank we launch, we will be the largest issuer and acquirer of UPI in this country, and so on and so forth. So look, it's like saying, is Android great for India? Some device maker has to take it to the consumer. It is not those stacks are great or not. Right. It is the device maker and the use cases and the pitch to the market and the integration in the market that will define it.
For entrepreneurs who are now like you, right? I mean, inspired by you, are recognizing the opportunity beyond the metro cities, right? What are the lessons that you can share with them?
Language is the biggest important thing. We sort of live in glass houses where the English is a common language, so we should quickly become a local language player. And secondly, you may underestimate cajoling, training, and hand-holding and physical presence, but that is very much needed. For example, like I go and ask this shop in Handloom Mela, and this guy comes from Bihar, and I say, you take Paytm here. So this guy is telling, sir, वो Chinese है. मैंने कहा, अच्छा, कैसे Chinese है? किसने बताया आपको? पंजाब नेशनल बैंक वाले ने बताया. मैंने कहा, ये देखो. तो आपका जो दोस्त है ना, वो वहाँ पे खड़ा हुआ है. तो बेसिकली वहाँ जो हो रहा है ना ग्राउंड पे, वो आपको पता नहीं चलता पीछे से बैठे हुए. And then he talked about how I don't trust them because I don't see them, and so on and so forth. So these are the kind of realities that you should remember when you're going there.
Right. Vijay, little bit about personal life, right? I mean, people typically get tired of entrepreneurship, because the family gets tired after a few years, right? You've been doing it for like 18 years now, continuously, non-stop, right? How do you balance life and work?
Work-life balance should be treated like a nice oxymoron, because balance is when there is something good and something bad. आपकी या तो जिंदगी खराब है या फिर आपका काम खराब है. एक में से एक को तो छोड़ ही दो फिर. So I don't personally believe in the balancing theory of work and life as a two different things. I believe that your work should be so nicely exciting and fun that you don't think of getting out of it and getting into something called life, or your life should be so much of fun that your work is part of it. So I don't belong to work-life balance club, by the way. Yeah.
But do people,
I'm an extreme sort
people
of
around
guy.
you, do they make you feel guilty about having too much fun in your life and work both?
By asking this question, you make me think. But I think I've learned one thing, that if you are being judgmental on me, it is your problem, not mine. I've learned this. So thank you so much for being judgmental, but that was very fast. तुम्हारे लिए था ये?
हाँ जी. So, Vijay, some problems are going on in the startup world, right? I mean, as you know, there
कौन
is.
सी वाली?
बता देता हूँ. So there is some issues.
Vulture venture.
Vulture venture, other similar to vulture. Right?
Okay.
Winter,
summer.
Yeah. One problem is about the sexual harassment cases which are coming out, right?
Okay.
And the entire startup world is being painted.
Which I think is not a startup world problem. It is a workplace problem. I think let's remember, every company must have an obligation to make female teammates work superiorly, harder, and excitingly more loved and respected at their workplace than even their home would probably give it. So I think it is important for every company to build it. And it is not a question of startup or not startup.
Right.
I think somewhere startups are the new companies, founders or the young teams might have not understood what might be happening there, or if they are part of it, then they should be treated equally, punished equally and harshly actually, so that this example gets set for the many people to come forward. But I believe that, my belief is that men work for three things, which is called money, title, and job satisfaction. So you can change a man's job by giving him more money, everything being the same, correct?
Yeah.
And then you can give him the same money and give him a separate senior title, and he'll come. And third thing is that they want to bother about job satisfaction.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, female also work for the same three things in a reverse sequence. They want to first work for satisfaction, and that is what a company should give them: respect, love, affection, and satisfaction. They can't be bought for the title of money ever.
Wonderful.
And I think that kind of teammates are very precious for a company, and we should just make most of that as a teammate.
Vijay, Stazilla incident was all over the Twitter, right? As you saw.
All over Twitter, not news.
Not on
Okay,
news.
so
Yeah.
You live in the Twitter world.
It started on
You
Twitter.
live in the Twitter world.
It got on Twitter first, and the in fact the whole thing started from a Medium post, right? But what are the lessons, for entrepreneurs? What do you think, like?
I think so I'm a third party.
Yeah.
I just do not know which side and what side. So let's keep the Stagella separate, and let's talk about the lessons. Wow, या तो ये earthquake आ रहा है या फिर shaking conversation हो रहा है. All are shaking. Wow. Paytm करो. जल्दी Paytm निकालो. सब लोग मेरा नंबर लिखो, सेंड करो, 1-1 रुपया रुक जाएगा. 11-11 रुपया भेजोगे तो जल्दी रुक जाएगा. मैं ब्राह्मण भी हूँ, शर्मा भी है. कल शनिवार भी है.
Yeah, Stazilla.
Stagella.
Yeah.
So I think let's keep the Stagella, because I am not the person who has an understanding of the
In
matter.
general, what
But
do you
in
think?
general, I want to say this, that every company must know that sequence of people who should be paid. In that, I think third parties and loan and etc. seniority definition exists, and the board member should early on take care that I think you guys don't have money, so why don't you start bothering about this sooner? For example, like as a company like us, देखो थोड़े दिन पहले किसी ने बोला कैशबैक देता रहता है, तो हमारे बोर्ड मेंबर को एकदम रियलाइज हुआ, ज़्यादा कैशबैक तो नहीं दे रहे, देखो कितना कैशबैक दे रहे हो. जल्दी से हमने कैशबैक का डाउन कर दिया. So the point is the board member and the team should be very actively pursuing the cash balances, and you should not see the balance sheet, you should see the cash flow sheets.
Right.
And this is what the reality is. Cash flow is the reality. And when you do not have money for 6 months, then you are in a definitely, immediately extend the life cycle.
So, Vijay, the most pertinent question, there have been some requests and demands for protection. We touched upon the topic, protection for Indian companies, the larger ones. Right? So, but I don't know, where are you on that? You think Indian companies need protection from foreign capital? Indian companies need
If I have foreign capital, then I don't want it. If I don't have it, I definitely want it. I think people have a principle of convenience. I think this is all of us know this. I mean, and this is an amazing country. When you don't have a one thing working, then there is a hierarchy of things that can work.
Right.
And that is exactly the vibrant democracy that we have. So I think it has happened ever since. But the country has examples that Make My Trip has been built even when Expedia exists. Right. Bharti Cellular has been built even when Vodafone existed. So and so forth. So I think people have ways out, and it is not necessarily called protection, if you will. We as a country cannot, if we have decided to keep the market open, then I don't know what can be done. I mean, you cannot go back in the time and switch it other way around. Or we should forward-looking block the market, then we should do that. And everybody should be living in that world. And I don't have a special comment on protection requirement, but I have a just simple comment that rules should be decided and they should be stable.
But Vijay, this new thing that you're up to now in e-commerce, right? Yeah, it's a real thing. You will be the CEO there?
Yeah, I'll be the CEO.
Okay.
I got strong urge to fly.
So we are all like big fans of, just because you heard about him, read books and all of that. A to Z, for example, right?
Yeah, Jeff Bezos.
So Jeff Bezos, right? Everything is going well. A lot of work in Paytm, but why this new panga?
I think the payment and the bank battle is not so, in a way, there is a lot that we are doing and there is a lot that we will continue to do, but there is not a extraordinary cliff that we have to climb in few forward months and years. That is why we started to go international also there. While the commerce is a battle where we have to earn the ticket to be in the game. And I think that is a fight I love. The fight of survival is a fight, an underdog fight. When you're in front of a 1,000-pound gorilla and you are just a dog, he just wags you and you can be just thrown out. That is a fight to fight. The underdog fight is the joy of
Vijay, you are the top of the world, right now.
I don't think I'm top of the world. I'm an underdog in front of this.
No, in Paytm, in payments, right? You are the 1,000-pound gorilla.
No.
You want to be the underdog now?
I think I want to live the life of being an underdog, and before I die, my target should always remain so big that I'm an underdog. So I never want to be
and you'll keep picking battles where you're the underdog.
That's right. So that is why I in my LinkedIn profile I say from start of business to significant middle. After that, मेरा team अलग अलग है यार. अब हम अगला काम करते हैं.
Phenomenal. So with that, I am done and throw it open to the audience. I don't know how many of you really realize the importance of this is the man who's been an entrepreneur for 18 years, right? And he's just yearning to be an underdog, after all what is achieved. So a big hand to Vijay. And
Thank you.
Please carry on for 20 more seconds. Yeah. Because you didn't clap enough, no questions.
I can ask you some questions. You guys have an opportunity to ask questions. Otherwise, I'll ask. और आपको अगर ये शो अच्छा लगे तो मेरे को और टाइम देना.
बताइए.
So आनंद, आप ये बताइए कि you invest small amount. Then there are people who spend large amount. And then comes the day when the large amount guys start to spend small amount. जैसे लीफ एक्सेल ने 1-1 मिलियन सबको बांट दिए.
Correct.
तो आपको ऐसा, I mean, what is you as a venture capitalist investor reaction when top dogs come and start to get into your zone?
Same thing. No, I like the battle, like being the underdog.
Oh, so
no, it's a good challenge.
Is the over capital bad for a company?
It is. Right?
It is.
The only thing is that there is a time and opportunity when the entrepreneur is in a position, frame of mind, right? When he actually says,
कैसे
what?
हो सकता है? यार एक entrepreneur हाथ उठा के बोले मेरे को कि मुझे लगता है कि ज़्यादा पैसा खराब होता है. कौन हाथ उठाएगा? किसी ने नहीं उठाया. आप क्यों कह रहे हो ऐसा?
नहीं, मैं ये नहीं बोल रहा हूँ. मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि ज़्यादा पैसे का एक वक्त होता है.
एक वक्त होता है. उसके बाद होना चाहिए. शादी के बाद होता है. मतलब कोई ऐसा वक्त होता है. क्या वक्त होता है?
For example.
6 साल के बाद होता है?
No.
पहले खुद कमाए फिर दुल्हन लाए के बाद होता है?
I think the entrepreneur वो तो है ही है.
पहले खुद वो तो बस प्रॉफिटेबल बने फिर पैसे लाए. साला प्रॉफिटेबल तो पहले
वो तो मतलब bare minimum है. I'm sure you gone through that. You've been asked कि कितना कमा रहे हो.
हाँ, वो तो सही. ठीक है. तो ये पूछो कि ज़्यादा पैसे एज अ इन्वेस्टर आप क्यों खराब कहते हैं?
नहीं, खराब नहीं कहते. इशू ये है कि मतलब अगर ये होता है ना कि जैसे आप धीरे धीरे स्टेमिना बढ़ा रहे हो, तो आपका एपेटाइट नहीं है अगर तो नहीं खाओगे, इंडाइजेशन हो जाएगा, राइट? सो यू हैव टू बी रेडी, यू हैव टू प्रिपेयर फॉर दैट मोमेंट.
कोट है या आपका बिलीफ है?
ये opportunistic है within that also, right? When it works, when the extra amount of funding works for me, it is very good.
बिल्कुल good. और नहीं है तो साला बेकार.
मेरी कंपनी में हो रहा है तो बहुत होना चाहिए. मेरा एंटरप्रेन्योर रेडी है, मतलब 100 मिलियन उसी पे डाल. लेकिन कंप्यूटर में हो रहा है
तो गलत है. डाइजेशन.
Absolutely.
आप अपनी उस कंपनी को क्या सलाह देते हैं? What do you advise the company that you are on a board of or investor when his competition has done irrational amount of fundraising? $100 million आ गए.
हाँ, मतलब
अब आपका क्या होगा?
मैं बोलता हूँ चुप करके बैठो, 2 साल तक खत्म हो जाएगा.
अच्छा. तो उसके बीच में पैसा कौन देगा उसको?
नहीं. See, entrepreneurs, if you tell them you have to survive, directionally, very clearly, right? Then they are smart enough, right? They just need to know that surviving is the right strategy today.
अच्छा, एक एंटरप्रेन्योर आपकी बात ना माने एंड वो कहता है यार ये पता नहीं आनंद क्या क्या बोलते रहते हैं, कुछ आते हैं बोर्ड मीटिंग में आते हैं और अब इनकी बात छोड़ दो. तो आप उनको कैसे कजोल करते हो?
घर पहुंच जाता हूं.
What should entrepreneur in the room should take as a lesson when he believes something different than his very auspicious honorable board member is saying?
वो मेरे घर पे आ जाएगा.
ये यार आप हो हम हमें मतलब समझ रहे हो ना? आप पैसा देते हो, हम तो लेते हैं.
आ जाता है ना. See, the way you said, right? Either I am extremely very committed to what I want the company to do, or the entrepreneur is committed, right? Either of us will say, what यार, कि ये मेरा equity ले लो, पर करने ये दो मुझे, right? Let me do my thing, right? And at that point, one has to be smart enough कि यार इतना बोल रहा है तो I have to let him do because he's an entrepreneur. At the same time, as a board member or as an investor, I have to earn the right to selectively use,
Your
my good
judgment.
books.
Okay.
And of course, I can't be doing that every day.
ओके
every
गॉट
board
इट.
meeting.
अब एक और प्रॉब्लम, एज अ एंटरप्रेन्योर हमारा कोर टीम मेंबर हमें छोड़ के जा रहा है, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट गाय, चीफ ऑपरेटिंग ऑफिसर, चीफ टेक्नोलॉजी ऑफिसर, हेड ऑफ प्रोडक्ट, हेड ऑफ सेल्स, कुछ ऐसा आदमी जिसकी वजह से हमारी कंपनी डावाडोल हो जाए. आपको कैसे बताएं? बताना चाहिए, नहीं बताना चाहिए, पहले रोकने का ट्राई करना चाहिए?
अगर एंटरप्रेन्योर को रोकना है तब तो बहुत पहले बता देना चाहिए और बताना चाहिए, मतलब
कितनी जल्दी बताना चाहिए? आप कहोगे यार तेरे पे ना कंपनी नहीं चल रही, सब लोग छोड़ के जा रहे हैं, व्हाट इज रॉन्ग इन दिस कंपनी? ऐसा डर लगता है नहीं लगता है? वीसी आके बोलेगा यार क्या प्रॉब्लम है तुम्हारे यहाँ से सब लोग छोड़ के जा रहे हैं, अब सब फ्लिपकार्ट जा रहे हैं, क्या करें, उतना पैसा देते हैं. आपने मना कर दिया पैसे रेज करने से, वहाँ पैसा मिल रहा है, अब क्या करें, कैसे रोकें?
It's a see at the end bottom of it, the trust level between an investor and a founder has to be of very very high degree. Right?
Achha.
And
Like the
mutual
trust level.
So you can't. I don't know. I would like I would advise the entrepreneurs to engage with their investors on WhatsApp on a daily basis, right?
Oh, you will advise?
No, not advice.
Okay,
Engagement.
Engagement.
Just keep
Chatting
updating,
is engagement.
Chatting, right?
वहीं से तो
Engagement. The term. सबके metrics improve. Metrics इसलिए improve हो रहे हैं. So the thing is that you can't wait for a board meeting to inform about these things.
अच्छा, तो मतलब जितनी जल्दी बता दो उतना अच्छा.
ज़्यादा ही अच्छा है. शायद कुछ help कर दे. या पहले you get a buy-in किया, ठीक है कोई बात नहीं, जा रहा है.
अच्छा, मेरा ये मानना है कि हमें ये पैसे खर्च कर देने चाहिए और इस वाले बिजनेस में चले जाना चाहिए और उसके बाद हम पैसे रेज कर लेंगे. और आप कह रहे हो पैसे बचाओ, ये क्या प्रॉब्लम है यार? आप ना बिल्कुल वो, आप या तो कंपनी आप ही चला लो, ऐसा होता नहीं होता यार, कंपनी आप ही चला लो, मेरी बात तो सुनते नहीं हो.
You're right. And half of the time, right?
मन करता है कि कंपनी नहीं चला लो.
नहीं विजय, वो आपसे पूछ के आते हैं सारे और मुझे पता है कि वो बोलने ही वाला है, राइट? आई स्टॉप जस्ट बिफोर ही सेज दिस डायलॉग, ये अभी बोलने वाला है, कंपनी आप चला लो.
अच्छा, तो
वही रुक जाता हूँ मैं उसके पहले.
तो डू यू बिलीव दैट एंटरप्रेन्योर्स को अब ये बताओ, व्हाट इज अ वे आउट ऑफ अनदर नेगोशिएशन वेयर हमें पैसे रेज करने जा रहे हैं, तो यार बहुत हाई वैल्यूएशन नहीं लेना चाहिए और इतना कम वैल्यूएशन कैसे लें, दूसरे को देखो उसने इतने हाई प्राइस पे इतने ज़्यादा पैसे इकट्ठे कर लिए, तो हम क्यों ना रेज करें? तो आप ये बताओ कि वैल्यूएशन कैसे मैथ करते हो आप? मतलब आपने कितने का चेक रेज करते हो आप? व्हाट इज द टिकट साइज?
और टिकट साइज, इन्वेस्टमेंट टिकट साइज $500,000.
$500,000. तो $500,000 के लिए आप कितना लेते हो? 26-27% लेते हो?
15-20.
तो अरे यार,
पब्लिक में तो 15-20.
यार आपको 5-6% मिलना चाहिए. मैं तो नंबर जो भी कुछ बोलते हो काम कर रहा था.
You're right. Absolutely.
तो ये बताओ, एज अ एंटरप्रेन्योर में क्या मैथ लगाऊं? मतलब दूसरी कंपनी देखो तो साला कुछ भी करते नहीं है और 15 बिलियन वैल्यूएशन है, ऐसा भी लगता है. और हम इतना कुछ करते हैं तब भी हमारा 100 रुपया है.
नहीं, मैं उसको ये बोल रहा हूँ यार, तेरे को नहीं मिल रहा तभी आया यहाँ पे.
नहीं, आप ये बताओ कि कैसे एज एन एंटरप्रेन्योर मैं अपनी कंपनी की वैल्यूएशन करूं और मुझे समझ में आए कि आप एक जो नेगोशिएशन कर रहे हो वो वैलिड है.
एंटरप्रेन्योर हैज टू ऑप्टिमाइज बिटवीन टाइम, स्पीड एंड वैल्यूएशन, राइट?
जितनी जल्दी फटाफट से कोई जो पैसा दे दे,
within that time frame, the local optima of time frame, you want to optimize what are the best offers you have, right?
अच्छा.
You can't hold the company's progress hostage to your personal requirements.